Fire, 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 fire. Kill it. Cross the music. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. S-I-N-Y. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Welcome black. Live Darsini, your host John Dreads. We back with another banger. We have
Claude Rowe,
right.
popularly known as Bilbo Jangles of the Yassa Band,
All right.
former school teacher, um, worker with ACS, author, musician. Introducing my book, The Unwanted Children by Claude Rowe, available on Amazon KDP.
Right.
And greetings to each and everyone listening to the program today. Hope everything is all right, real copacetic.
Right.
Greetings,
Yes.
bless up, my brethren.
Bless up. We got cause that was just too fast right there. So we gotta pull it back a
Pull
little
it
right.
back.
And we gotta pull it back
Pull
a
it
little
back,
bit.
yeah.
Right. Cause
Yeah.
you just gave us like whew, I don't even know how many years was just piled up in that
All
one.
right, so you want me split
Right.
it up?
Yeah, but not only that, we got some good music for them coming too. You ain't
Yeah.
mentioned that, right? You mentioned the CDs and stuff,
Yes,
right? But we got
yes.
some good music coming live for them also.
Live.
But I would like you to give them, a brief introduction because we gotta get you here first before we can get you working over here, right?
Well, brief synopsis. I'm from Jamaica.
Right.
I went to high school, graduated Kingston College in Jamaica, passed my exams, and came to New York as an impressionable 18-year-old youth.
Okay.
Back in the 70s, I might add, I think that's important because then it wasn't easy for us to navigate the system, to find friends. Weren't too many friends around.
Right.
Basically, a family brought you here. So here I was in Brooklyn in this new environment, and the only thing that I could think of, me and my sister, who was here maybe like 2 years before me, is this concrete jungle.
Right.
So back then you had basement parties and Bob Marley music in this concrete jungle.
Right.
And was here and had to go get a job,
Right.
according to my mom, really wanted to go to school. And when I went to CUNY, they said I had to go back to high school, which didn't sit right with me.
Because
I thought I was a big brainiac, graduated with 6 subjects in the General Certificate of Education, including English, mathematics, history, French, just so.
right, school is different over there. It's like
yeah.
even after you finish school, you got to go to another school before college, right? It's like after high school, there's another school. Like y'all do a lot of school there.
Well, how it was in those days, I graduated high school in 5th form. It was formed
See,
back,
right.
like the 12th grade. Or,
Right.
they call it 5th form, which means you finished high school. And if you passed your exams, then you could go to 6th form
Right.
for 2 years, and you would sit the A levels. So I did the GCE O levels and passed 6 subjects. But according to my aunt, who I was living with at the time, boy, the boy getting bad, So
Right.
my mom filed for me. And I thought I was doing good because at 17 plus, I was working with the government of Jamaica as a clerical officer too in the Kingston and Parish Services Commission. So I had my own office, I had messengers, people, could send out.
At that young
At
age.
that young age.
Wow.
And when I realized I was making more money than the average adult in my community. So that gave me a measure of popularity in my community in
Right,
Jamaica.
right.
Nice girlfriend, money in my
Right,
pocket,
right,
could
right,
get some
right.
love, you know,
Right.
hanging out.
Young, you know what I'm saying? Right,
Young,
right.
life is beginning, man. Life is nice. And going to parties as well as dances, because I grew up in Eastern Kingston. You know, I was listening to Jawais, my brethren sound, Tippatoon International.
Right,
He's now currently living in Queens. There was Sanatoon, there was Stan Soul Merchant, there was Prince Patrick with all of the DJ business. And when I say version 18, I see you coming through my musical gate, I say you're late because I just done playing version.
Right,
Now I play dubwise, and then you down by Doncaster Beach and the breeze and the tides. And
Right,
man,
right.
just copacetic, cool, you know, drinking a red stripe beer, all that kind of
Right,
stuff.
Red Stripe.
And then all of that is upset, and you on the plane coming to New York, you know what I'm saying? And no more mangoes on the trees, no more akis, no more breadfruit, and you opening an apartment door, you know, in an apartment building with
People
maybe
on top of each
16,
other,
20
right,
different apartments,
right.
coming outside in the concrete jungle, and I'm lost. You know, I'm missing my friends, missing my girlfriend,
Right.
and that whole lifestyle is now out the door. Here comes the new lifestyle. And I have to find out how to navigate the system, because at the time, your mom is working maybe 2-3 jobs to make ends meet because she's a single parent.
Right, the good moms back
Yeah,
then.
the good
Yeah,
moms
right,
back
the
then,
good
you know,
ones.
working very hard. Hi, how you doing, Bill? You know, I'm gonna cook some food, but I have to run back to work, that kind of stuff. My sister is attending City College up in Manhattan, New York, Bronx.
Right.
You know, trying to get her degree. And me and my younger sister at home, you know, just turn on the TV, you know, eat some ice cream, you know, watch television. But after 2 weeks, I was told, well, you're not going to get into school, so you have to go look a job.
Right.
Yeah, 2
Mom
weeks,
working
man.
hard. Mom
Yeah,
working
mom
hard.
working
And then
hard.
we looking at you, looking at TV, eating ice cream. Right.
So, you know, they took me to 14th Street maybe like twice. And then after that, back then, the parents used to have what you call susu. So everybody's working, they put in their $50 every time they get paid. And then when you get your draw, then you could, if you want to buy a car, if it's enough.
Good stuff. A house. You ain't need a bank loan. Right.
Yeah, you know, because then a lot of people weren't getting bank loans and weren't making sufficient money, because most of the parents that I knew were like nurses' aid, people like that, you know.
But it was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice, and it paid off in the end when it was your time to get the payout. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, so basically I was living in Crown Heights, right
Okay.
off Eastern Parkway between Brooklyn and Kingston, and started walking around, and I'm like, wow, Mom, how much one of these houses cost? It's like about 30,000. I'm like, well, you could buy a house. She's
Right.
like, no, we can't afford it, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm reflecting, we should have bought a house, because those homes are worth over $1 million these days.
To me, that's like the greatest area of Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? Just by the name Crown Heights,
Heights,
right? Kings High, Kings this, Kings. You understand what I'm saying? You're in the
Kingston
county,
Avenue,
right? It's just like,
Avenue, Union
right.
Avenue.
Then you have the vegetable stands that stay open all night, 24/7, and it's just different.
But you know what's funny? Back in the 70s, that community was not predominantly black, because a lot of the stores that sold West Indian products were actually owned by Italians. And the main one, I don't know if any of your audience is old enough like me,
Might
was
be something.
Mara's.
Right.
Mara's had the codfish and the mackerel and the akis in the can, that kind of West Indian food, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's only like maybe about 76, 77 that Crown Heights on the other side of Eastern Parkway going towards Atlantic got
Right.
more populated by black families. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of white folks moved out because you're from Brooklyn back in the days, even on Church Avenue, there were a lot of white families. But now the whole population has changed. Well, with the regentrification, there's a lot of other,
Yeah,
ethnic
when I
groups
first
coming
moved
back.
there, it was that big movie theater that's the Staples or something now.
Flatbush and Church?
Yeah, it was that
Yeah,
theater.
yeah.
But then where I'm at on Albemarle and over there, it used to be a bigger theater there where they used to have like live acts come there, like how they got Sesame Street Live now. They used to have
Okay,
these things come there,
okay,
but they used
yeah,
to show movies there also. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
And it was that type of neighborhood because Flatbush Avenue, you just go straight to King's Plaza. So you had,
Yeah,
right, right.
straight up into King's
Right,
Plaza,
okay?
right?
And if you was a kid like me, you knew when you got to that certain spot where they had the fake Coney Island rides, you always want to pull over there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just those times. And even Crown Heights, you just showed me something new because I don't remember a lot of Italian people. I remember a lot of Jewish people over there.
The Jews were mainly on the other side. They were from Eastern Parkway going up towards Lefferts Avenue.
Right,
You
right,
understand? And people may not believe it, but back in those days, Jamaicans and Jews dressed alike. We had on them long black khaki
right,
coats with the hats, you know.
right,
Yeah, but
right. But we know who wore it first. You understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? Right.
yeah. So as the whole community changed, um, I guess more Caribbean folks came in. Then it was easier to navigate and to find people like for me, find friends from the Caribbean.
Right.
My friends at first were actually soccer players who got scholarships to come to New York
Right.
or to some went to Howard University, but they had families in New York, so they would visit,
Right.
and we would go to Prospect Park and play ball, back in those days. But I think what we had as, I call them, coping mechanisms was more sports and entertainment.
Right.
Because the first friend I met, he told me, man, they're playing soccer in Prospect Park.
Right.
So then I started going to Prospect Park because I love to play soccer. I played soccer back in Jamaica. I was popular in my community because of soccer.
Right.
So I started finding friends in Prospect Park. And to be quite honest, some were friends and some were some rude boy.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but it was a nice atmosphere, and I remember, must mention him, one of my friends that really embraced me and allowed me to play was this brethren named Bobby Sarkey, who used to sing with the Wailers back in the days when Bob came to America. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So Bobby said, and I was running on the field, youth, where you going? You know what I'm saying? And I see him with his guitar. So I'm like, man, I want to play. I'm like, boy, you're a musician? I'm like, yeah, man, play with Bob Marley, You ever hear a tune name, It Hurts to Be Alone? I singing that song, You understand? And then he's telling the people, this is my little brethren, give him a game. You understand? So that was the atmosphere, the
Right.
environment where the older men would look out for the younger youths who just got here. And I was fortunate enough to meet some good brothers at the time, and even I like music. I was going to dances in the St. Thomas area of Jamaica.
Right.
I was listening, like I said, Tipper 295, Prince Patrick, which was eventually became Arrows International. So my thing was music. Up to this day, I have a vast collection of
Right.
reggae music dating back from the ska era with the Scatterlights. You know what I'm saying? The Metals, Toots and the Metals, the Wailers, the Gaylords.
Right.
I
Right.
grew up seeing the Gaylords rehearse around the corner from where I live. So I was heavily into music before I even came here,
Right.
and every opportunity I got in high school where my teacher left and the other teacher would come to teach us a different. I got up on the stage and I'm singing like Jackie Wilson and Otis Redding.
Right, right.
You know, so the music and the soccer really is what started getting me able to handle the new environment because I miss my friends.
Right.
And I miss my country.
And it's like a culture shock, you know.
Culture shock.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the concrete jungle. It's the concrete jungle here, but they're not the same concrete jungles. Right.
Because the concrete jungle that I came from had trees. You could pick mangoes, akis, breadfruits.
Soursop, I seen
Soursop,
that.
you know, all different kind of fruits, man.
Yes.
Even though it was in Kingston, Jamaica, it was a really fruitful environment. You know, you really couldn't starve. You know? And the good thing is,
the whole neighborhood was healthy. Everybody healthy.
and everyone looked out for everyone else because, to be honest, I remember days my mom wasn't working and she's walking with her hands behind her toodle-doo because she knows she don't have nothing to cook. And then the neighbor would stretch her hand and say, hey, cook this for my little husband. And you get in a 2-pound of rice with a can of herring or whatever. And you come here, and when you open your door, you're not seeing your neighbor. There may be 3-4 apartment doors over on the next side of the hall, and you never see who lives there. You know?
Right, but they know all your business. Right. Right.
Yeah. And, you know, now you have to go fend for yourself. You have to be a lion in the jungle because you're like, hey, man, I want to have a girlfriend. I want to be able to go out. And my sister came here 2 years before me. So when I came the first Saturday, she's like, hey, Bill, we can't go and dance, you know, but your mother probably won't let you go.
Right.
So I said, all right, let this Saturday pass. And the next Saturday, she said, okay, my friend is going to call my mom and see if we could go out with them. So, yeah, my mom give us the stern look. And then she said, okay.
Right, this is a new place, right. This ain't like back home. Man.
Driving there. When we got to this dance, now it's a basement dance. And music playing. And I'm happy because one of the music that was popular at the time was this music by Shorty. The president, I mash up the resident, do baba do ba do be. You know, I'm like, yeah, boy, now I'm in my element. Till you hear the first gunshot, boom!
Right.
And everybody running, man. I'm like, whoa, this is for real? Because in Jamaica, that never happened. You just went to the dance, whatever, and then you go home, go play some soccer the next day. So then I'm realizing that a lot of the older men carried guns.
Yeah.
You know? And I even wrote a song about it because the first person that I saw that night was somebody from my community in Jamaica. And he's like, you come up. Welcome to New York, man.
Right,
and
right.
slap me on the back.
Familiar face.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
then those are the same guys that's robbing the party at the end of the night. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So I'm like, wow, this is serious.
Right.
This is serious. So good thing is I got a job. I could tell you the name. I started working in a factory. So I'm going from somebody dressed in a tie and a nice arrow shirt with a good pants length to working in a factory throwing cartons of clothes down the chute.
Right.
At 34th and 9th Street, 9th Avenue. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for a year, and I took the GED.
That's like the garment district.
Yes,
Right.
that's what it was. And I started going to do the GED at Xavier High School.
So even with as much education as you had before you even came to this country,
Yeah, they said I
they
had to go
still
back.
sent you to take more education.
Yeah, but I wanted to further my education because
It's
most
usually
of my
like that,
friends,
right? It's
yeah,
usually
they
like
went
that.
to sixth form, and I must say that my headmaster, we didn't call him principal, we call him headmaster.
Right.
My headmaster at the time was Douglas Forrest, and we as a school were known for athletics. And whenever we played ball or we ran track, the other schools would say, Kingston College, now have no knowledge. All them feed pan a cornmeal porridge. So he wanted to show them that he had intelligent students.
Right.
So I actually passed the exams from I was 15 going on 16. And I should have gone on to the sixth forms.
Right.
But because they thought I was hanging out in the night, I came here. And what I wanted to say that most of my friends now are doctors and lawyers.
Right.
You know, I myself ended up attending Brooklyn College and I received a degree in economics. And later on I went and I received a master's in business administration. But I still feel I should have had a doctorate.
But you might be more, you know what I'm saying? You might be more in tune than none, even though they went to school. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Right.
What I think, I tell myself what I did, I straddled the fence.
Right.
Because I started playing soccer for Brooklyn College, but I also played community ball. And I mentioned it in the book. One of the two main coping mechanisms that we had was playing ball and going to dances.
Right.
And we find that a lot of the older men that we call bad men, they love both. If you were playing soccer there on the side, you would pass the ball, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you go to dances, they're there.
Right.
You know, but if you could play ball, they look out for you. When you go out, they're like, you want a beer, you want a stout, and if something is gonna jump off, they're like, you better go home, you know.
Right.
So I like them because they treated me well, you know what I'm saying? And they were a part of my growth.
Right.
But when I got my first child, I'm graduating from college, and I'm wondering, like, there's a passage in the Bible that says there's a road that seems good to a man, but the end of it is death and destruction. You know, they're telling me, youth, why you don't come hustle some weed and make some money, yes, and I don't want to drive BMW and pretty car. And I'm like, the opposing side is going to get a 9 to 5,
Right.
you know, but
And back then, deportation, you didn't want that, right?
no, but then from playing soccer, I met Bob Marley because we had a soccer team named Tafari. And that was like the dreadlocks soccer team in Brooklyn. Where everybody
You go
was
to
in
Crown
the
Heights,
team.
that's all you're going to have, right?
You know, we're playing up by Boys High. You're playing in the Haitian League, then you start playing in the Caribbean League.
Right.
And when Bob came here in 1975 to do the Schaefer Brewing Festival, he found himself amongst us because, of course, Bob is a Rasta.
Right.
And he had a road manager called Alan Skilcole, who had already played ball in Brazil, in Africa, and he was now touring with Bob. So they came to Prospect Park for like 2 to 3 weeks during the summer and played. Bob used to juggle, and that's when I really started to respect that brother because he was so humble. You know, they would like, everybody's like, Bob, you know, want to play? And he was like, no, me just juggle my ball because he's a team, you understand? But Skill, as Jamaica's best soccer player, took me under his wing. He's like, you'd come play beside me. And for 2 weeks, man, I was a star. Yeah, so it was a good education. But most of the older men, like I said, were hustlers. And as an impressionable youth, you're wondering, which road should I take? But you know that your mom wants you to go work a 9 to 5.
Right, especially, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But I knew both sides of the fence. And it was only when some of the stuff that my mom taught me, you know, show me your friends and I tell you who you are. And don't envy somebody for what they have because you don't know how they got it.
Right.
And I kind of reined myself in and said, wait a minute, I don't want to get shot. I don't want to shoot nobody. I have a degree.
Right.
So I actually I worked for Richard Green with the Crown Heights Youth Collective. I was a tutor at Medgar's College, tutoring English, economics.
And this is when they were like small. They not even Brooklyn College, right? Even Brooklyn College wasn't as big as it is now.
No. But Brooklyn College was much more renowned. much larger than Medgar's at the time.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it was
right.
when Medgar's bought out there was a garbage area on Bedford and I think Crown Street, and they bought out all of that land close to Ebbetsfield,
Right.
and they created like 2 new buildings.
Right, it's
Because before
gigantic
that it was
now,
over
right.
by Carroll Street.
It's gigantic.
So they expanded, and then we moved into a brand new office on Bedford Avenue. And like I said, I was there tutoring economics for like 4 or 5 years. And there was a lady, I don't know if I should mention her name, Miss Rennie. She brought her son, and I tutored him, and she came back, and she said, you know, my son likes you, and he doesn't really like a lot of people. I said, okay. She said, how would you like a job working with Community Services Society? At the time, they were affiliated with the Rockefeller Foundation.
Right.
And I said, sure. It meant more pay, better benefits, and started pulling myself up the ladder. Moved from there, worked with New York City Board of Education as a per diem teacher, for social studies.
Right.
And can't forget, in 1996, I think, there was a case up in the Bronx with this kid named Elisa Squerdo that they found in a dump. It was a case of educational neglect because she hadn't been coming to school and no one reported it. And when they did go to investigate, they found out that the child had been killed and thrown in a dumpster. So there was a big, hullabaloo about it, and the mayor at the time, I think, was Giuliani, and he asked that they employ more workers with the Administration for Children's Services, and I started working there.
And it was called BCW back then. It wasn't right. They done
before
changed the name, right.
But that's how they flip things.
Right.
You get in trouble as one acronym and they flip
Right.
it to
Then
something.
it was the ACS, and then now it's something different, you know what I'm
And
saying?
You're no longer a caseworker, you're an investigator.
Right.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of experiences, and still found myself now getting drawn to music.
Right, because we didn't even touch on the we didn't even touch the music yet.
Yeah, we didn't touch the music as yet. You know what I'm saying?
Look, we got my engineer telling us the songs. We know we got the songs over there. You want to let them hear some of the music right now, and then we'll get into the music. Right. Give them, what we gonna play for them?
Playing the track, man.
Right. Give them a name.
Call on your track. This one is more of on the spiritual side, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to be a spiritual person, you know?
And these days and times,
you need to be.
Right.
So here's how it goes. I'm leaning on Jah everlasting love. I'm leaning, yeah, on Jah everlasting love. Many have labored, many have strayed, saying Jah victory has been too long delayed. So they fight against the brother man, knowing it's not right. Disrespecting sisters, yeah. Though we should unite and travel Zion way now, Zion way, yeah. Obeying Jah way now, day by day. I'm leaning on Jah everlasting love. I'm leaning, yeah, on your everlasting love. Roads may be rocky, rivers so deep. I pray to judge my soul to keep. Never leave me lonely. Stay right by my side. Through trials and tribulations, yeah, yeah. Father, be my guide to travel Zion way now, Zion way. Obeying Jaja way, day by day. I'm leaning, yeah.
All right, yes.
Yes.
Let's give him one more, Charlie. Give him one more, and then we'll save the rest for the end. Let you close out with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's
Yeah,
just.
come on, give us one more.
I decided to dedicate myself to. I can't reach out to people through just being in the classroom. Can't reach the people from being in the classroom. So I decided music and books was the best thing to do now. Tell me, have you ever tried reaching out for the other side? I may be climbing on rainbows, but baby, here goes. And where I'm going to, nobody knows. But let me tell you, dreams are for those who sleep, and lives for us to keep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In case you're wondering where the soul is leading to, I'd like to make it with you, yeah. Some other sweet caress, my baby, some tenderness, to let you know I love you. At nights I hold my pillow and dream of you. I'm wondering if you love me true. But let me tell you, dreams are for those who sleep, and lives for us to keep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In case you're wondering where the soul is leading to, I'd like to make it with you. Make it very, very soon. We'll be together in life. I love and cherish you. We'll care for each other in life. Just so you know, live on direct on live that Staten Island with my brethren Dreads and the engineers outside. Real soft and sweet and slow. That's the way you really got to go. Don't say you never know. People, we've got to enjoy the musical show. Have you ever tried reaching out for the other side? I may be climbing on rainbows, but baby, here goes. And where I'm going to, nobody knows. dreams. But let me tell you, dreams are for those who sleep, and life's for us to keep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In case you're wondering where the soul is leading to, I'd like to make it with you. Yeah, love, I really love you, yeah. Love you, baby, with all my heart. Love, I really love you, yeah. Always thinking of you, yeah. Love you, baby, with all my heart. Love and I 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 love you so. Love you, baby, with all my heart. Love, I really love you, yeah. Always thinking of you, yeah. Love you, baby, with all my heart. Really love you, baby. Come, let me tell you, yeah. Love you, baby. Live and direct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Bojangles, thank you.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, so
They clapping out there.
They clapping out.
Right. I had somebody say they was resting today. They wasn't getting up. I seen them get up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you're doing it. You're doing it
So,
big. Right.
I find inspiration in singing and writing and reading like my good brother outside. Respect my brother.
Right.
Because I think in order for you to be fully focused and fully balanced with what is happening worldwide, you have to read a lot and you have to find some kind of spirituality within yourself that could keep you balanced, so that your adrenaline, as you get up in the morning, your adrenaline hits the roof, because I don't know who I'm going to meet today, but I'm ready. You want to go out there with a calm spirit.
Right.
So this is how I do it. I play my music and I write and I read and I try to be pleasant to everybody until I see you looking at me. I'm like, all right, this is
Right.
You know, just leave that one alone, you know, but I no fight with nobody, man.
I mean, but
That
that
is just for
there
living, you know?
was the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
so that's the kind of music, and I don't know if you recognize, I have to attribute that last track to Bread, because they did Make It With You, and somebody played a track one night and said, "Dread, you hear anything?" And I couldn't sing the Bread piece, so I rewrote it to this. You know what I'm saying?
That last track was like Earth, Wind, and Fire came in the house. Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire all in one right here. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Yeah. So that's the love.
We
That's
skipped
what I love.
over that, but just give us a synopsis of how you got into the music and, you know, who inspired you to want to get into the music.
I just love from I was a kid, baby. I just love music. I can still remember the first tune I heard on the radio, because back then we didn't even have television.
Right.
And who was it? You're so young and I'm so old. This, my darling, I've been told. And I grew up listening to Needles. I got a pain down in my belly. Bob and the Wheelers. So many different groups. My hometown group was the Gay Lads. Sweet harmony, man. Shoo-be-doo-doo. You know, that kind of blue harmony that Harvick Fuqua would tell you about. And I love doo-wop. But I grew up blue. No father. And then by the time I was 11, my mom was leaving to go to the States.
Right.
No mom in the house. And I was just, they used to call me Billy Boy Blue, because I was always singing. I was always off by myself.
Right.
You know, so even when I was in school, to be quite honest, some days I didn't even have no lunch. All I used to do was get up there and sing. And then Two of my classmates, John Williams and Winston Tucker. Um, John Williams is Dr. John Williams, big geriatrics doctor
Oh, okay.
in Florida. And Winston Tucker became the voice of this group called Home T4. So we formed a little school, group. And after school every evening, we'll be up there singing Sam and Dave, Your Love is Like a Burning Fire, Jackie Wilson,
Right.
I can turn a gray,
Right,
Temptations,
right,
and
right.
it was fun. That's why when I had to leave them, they went to sixth form. I didn't, because I was told I was going to get my visa and come here.
Right.
So even when I came here, I was somewhat depressed. And all I could do was listen Stevie Wonder, the main ingredients.
Music was good back then, right? Music was good.
Man, I'm like, those brothers could sing. Main ingredient, man. What's the brother's name again? His son is Cuba Gooding. You're listening, Boy Blue, Hello Morning. And
I met him in person, actually.
Huh?
The father, I
met
had
him?
modeled. Yeah, I had modeled for him at the Black Expo a few years
Okay,
back.
man, brother could sing, man. Then there was the Childlights, the stylistics, and I'm listening to all these brothers sing, but I just love soccer.
Right.
So I was listening to music, but not involved in music. And it was not until, I think, in the 80s, after I started growing my locks,
Right.
and I felt that my mission in life was to teach people. So I started reading a lot. And like I said, I don't think I could reach everybody through a classroom or on the street. So I figured maybe one way you could reach them is through music. So I had written a lot of poems, and I started trying to translate the poems into music. And I remember Infinity was our manager back in the days. And I had this song that I did up by Harlem, for Harlem Week. And Original Diamonds, man. Met this girl in Bronx.
Hey, look.
Broke, no money. But she just liked me. And she's like, my men usually give me diamonds and pearls, Claude. And you ain't got no money, but I just like you.
Right.
And I'm in Long Island singing diamonds and seeing these people dance. And I'm like, yeah, boy, I could sing. And then when the song is finished, the man said, that was nice. And the lady said, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. And I'm shattered, man.
Right.
And I had a co-worker at the time. I was working with Richard Green. And he said, Claude, I bought this piano, man, this keyboard. And I bought it for my son, and he don't play it. I want to sell it. You want to buy it? And I think I gave Bob $100 for it. And I started teaching myself. I bought a sheet with how to hold the keys.
Right.
And I started teaching myself, and that is how I developed, and still working out, playing ball, so my vocals became good. But as I got older, I realized that I needed to put in more time. So I actually got serious and started teaching myself all the chords, the majors, the minors, the sharps, the flats, the sevenths, and I have two brothers, my bass player, Festus Williams, and the next brethren, P. Powell, and we get together sometimes 2-3 times.
Yeah, hopefully you could bring them here. We could get some. We
I
could
could
really
bring
turn
them.
that right. We could make the green dance in the background with us
They
here.
would do that,
Right,
man.
right,
They would
right,
be
right.
happy. They would
Right.
be glad to come and
Right.
accommodate.
We definitely have to put that together.
So then we formed we were working class people.
Right.
And we just needed to de-stress, get rid of the stress. So we were playing, and we were playing in the 90s. You know the 90s. You're
Oh, of
from
course.
Brooklyn.
Right.
And we were playing in this garage, and the guy smokes a lot, so he's smoking out by his gate. And he came back and he said, this woman was passing, and she said, where is that beautiful music coming from? And I tell her, yes, sir. So you see, true, you guys are rehearsing in my house, in my backyard. The name of the band is going to be a Yes, sir. And so now we have a band called a Yes, sir band.
All right.
Which means right here. A Yes, sir
Right,
means
right.
right here. This is where the music is playing, right here. A Yes, sir, right, yes, sir. You understand? That's a popular word in
And how
Jamaica.
long have y'all been together now?
Well, we've been friends for years because my
Right.
bass player used to play on a soccer team named Buffalo United. And we used to play like we killing each other, kicking up one.
Right, right.
And then as we got older, maybe around 2008, 2009, we found out that we all like music and we started banging till, like I said, it just turned out to be a band.
All right. And as an official real band,
Yeah.
y'all have shows coming up.
We have a show this Sunday, May the 26th in Brooklyn on Church Avenue. I think it's for the 605 at the Bingy Bar. And this brother, Vaughn, he has a radio program on Columbia radio station every Saturday morning between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 noon.
Okay.
And it's his birthday.
Right.
And he is always checking us out. He likes our music. He says it's a lot of original. It has a message. And his dad was a musician as well. So we are going to be playing for Vaughn this Sunday night.
All right. And before the time even get there, where can they find you? Where can they even find the book that we didn't even get to talk about yet? You know what I'm saying?
Well, my book is entitled Unwanted Children by Claude Rowe. I hope you can see it here. It details the comparison and contrast of life in the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica, and coming here to America, you know, in a whole larger, more fast-paced environment, you know. And
Sometimes control. Probably when you got in there, it was with good intentions, what they was doing, but now it's like they've taken the rights away from the parents, and that's not good. You know what I'm saying?
no, because the experiences I had with working with the system is a lot of kids ended up in foster care. And
Right.
at the time, they ended up there because the parent was probably smoking marijuana. And I've lived now to see people just walking in the street.
All right. The whole neighborhood smells like
Where
marijuana. Right,
everybody is.
right.
You know, so I saw discrepancies, I saw shortcomings. One of my main concerns, though, I don't think that the system had an answer for teenagers. They were very thorough, very efficient from newborn babies up to like 12, 13.
Right.
When it comes to the 14, the 16, the 17-year-olds, they don't really have a thorough system to service them because they're now affected by the TikTok and the Facebook and the Instagram and the Twitter, and the parents are still working hard. So the children are not seeing the parent more than they're seeing maybe a teacher in school, if they're still going to school.
And they're not understanding the sacrifices that their parents
That
is
the parent
making
has to make,
to
you know.
provide for them.
Yeah.
They're becoming more
Yeah.
entitled
Yeah.
and think you gotta give me these $200 sneakers. You gotta
Thank you.
give me this
Thank
$500
you very
phone.
much.
You gotta give me this
Thank
stuff.
you very
And then they rebel. Okay,
Yeah.
and then they know if they call and say your parent hit them and did something, guess what?
Yeah.
That parent is gonna be arrested and a whole bunch
I
of
could
stuff
tell you some stories
behind it. Right.
I remember this girl took her mom to court, calling a report, went to school, says, you know, Mom, my mom's boyfriend is not my dad. And he keep hitting me and he's asking me for sex. And the mother came to court and cried. And the judge said, well, Mom, where's your boyfriend? He's not here, Your Honor. Well, we have to put the child in foster care. And I'm interviewing, I'm like, foster care is not good. Your mom, nice home, clean, food.
Right.
Why you want to leave? Well, he was trying to molest me, sir. Come to find out, it was her friends who were in foster care. Like, it's not that bad, you have more freedom and everything.
And that's when the stuff really happens to them
Yeah.
over there.
But here it is. Don't normally work Saturdays. But just had to make up some work because now they brought in the computerized system and I have to input my notes. So I'm at work the Saturday putting in my notes and the phone is ringing off the hook. And I'm like, nobody knows I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
after a couple rings, I'm like, hello? Same young lady. Mr. Rowe, please come get me. I want to go home. I'm like, but you said your mom's boyfriend was molesting you? I can't do that. It's a lie. My friends told me that foster care is nice, but you know what? The mother have me drinking the same tea bag for a whole week, and I have to wash my sheets.
It's worse
And I
than
want to
that.
go back home. I'm like, and you went to court and you told all those lies? I said, that's not good.
It's worse. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
worse.
And
And it still hits home today, even closer to home, because my daughter is involved in some kind of situation similar to that. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
It's all the
So,
kids. It's all
the kids.
all
man.
the kids.
Let me ask you, isn't it weird? I forget what they call it. I think it's surfing. You're standing up on the train, on top of the train. You know?
One of my little nephews just fell off of there a couple of months ago. Barely survived, okay? Barely.
Yeah, that's what I saw on the news.
Right, barely. Yeah, in Brooklyn, that young boy. Barely survived.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But this is what these TikToks and all of those things that you name,
Yeah.
this is what they're teaching them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, one thing about the radio, you ain't never had to worry about that.
No,
One thing
man.
about even the music, it was not vulgar as it is now, okay?
Music was mostly about love, man.
Right.
Mostly, that's what I'm saying. The child lights, can have you seen her, you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
And then that music puts you on this level, but then when you hear this boom, boom, bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
then that music puts you on a different frequency.
Different frequencies.
Right.
Different
So that's why
frequencies.
they're
Yeah,
behaving
yeah.
and acting a certain type of way is
Yeah.
because they're tuned to that frequency now and they can't control it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's sad because, for one, a lot of parents are burying their kids.
And that's
where
very hard.
It's very hard.
It's hard.
It's very hard because you're
It's hard.
burying a child that was 16, 18, 19.
And then
if
some
you're
of the
lucky.
stuff that these kids are dying for or being killed for or being unalive for, it makes no sense.
Right,
Okay?
right.
And you can talk about it. Tomorrow's another day. It's just like now, there's no pause button. And it goes back to what I was saying. They take away the rights of the parent, okay? And then these kids don't realize. Now you're in the street, okay, and they say in their head, oh, your own parent can't control you. So now this is why they're shooting them and they're doing the certain things that happen to them.
Because the alternative family are the gangs.
Right,
Because they tell you, we your family now.
right.
But you got to do an initiation. So here's what you do. See that guy over there, you go slash him with a razor. And if you do that, you're in, man.
Right, now you're in jail, okay?
Yeah.
Your kids over here starving because they don't even care about you. You can't do nothing for them, so they ain't going to take care of your kids. They don't care about nothing that, you know what I'm saying? Right. So they have to be smarter and they need more leaders and people that's going to get out there and say, no, this is not the right way to go. This is the right path to go.
You need more service agencies. Back in the 70s, there was Manpower, downtown Brooklyn.
right.
If you weren't that good with your math and your English, you could go learn a skill. You understand? You need more forums where you're gonna have skills taught to kids. Because when I was growing up, you couldn't tell me about wanting to be a mechanic. I had opportunities, and I'm like, no, man, my nails getting dirty, and now I'm like, huh? my mechanic is making more money than me, and I have a degree.
Right.
You know, the carpenter, the mason.
And young, if you start young, you see how
Start-
fast these kids
yeah.
pick up the computer and pick up the phone. They know how to use the
Right,
phone better
right.
than us, right?
Yeah.
So if you start young, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you watching and you learning, and your uncle or whoever say
Right.
this is how you change a tire,
Because
and you
that
just
is
how
how
you,
it's supposed
right,
to go. And each one could teach one, because your uncle could say, listen, I'm a baker, I'm going to teach you how
Right.
to bake. And you're like, you know, uncle, we could do the business on the computer. We could go on
Right,
the
right.
internet and take a couple pictures with the loaves of bread and the pastry and say, this is Uncle's Bakery, and call us, we deliver, stuff like that, and you take it to a next level.
right.
But the only thing they know, hey, uncle, could I get $50?
Not even. 'Cause guess what? Uncle done went to jail, right?
Uncle.
Right. Uncle in jail. They done killed dad. Mom got to work 2 or 3 jobs to pick up for, you know what I'm saying? So then it's just the
So
kid
totally
there,
different,
and it's the
man.
kid like to fend for themselves, and they have to figure
Yeah.
this stuff out on their own.
Right,
And it's
right.
harder now because we live in a
harder.
faster paced world.
Yep.
Before, people would take the time and explain things to you. Now they won't explain nothing to you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
figure it out. Even when you say, you seen my kid, they ain't seen this kid. But they can tell you everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When it comes to like drama or that type of stuff about this kid. But
Yeah.
they didn't see nothing else going on with this kid. Right.
Yeah, so that's
You see where we at over here? We down to 2 minutes. This is the power hour. It goes
Two
right,
minutes.
right. You see how right. We put this to get this thing running, and
I
then
like it. To me it was short but sweet.
yes, right, right.
You know, and the communication, there's no script. We just
Right,
rapping,
right.
we reasoning, and it's flowing, and it's about stuff that is positive.
Yes.
You know, and that is what we need to implement more. This is a nice forum, a nice platform for you to reach. Hopefully you're reaching some kids and some parents who probably could say, you know, I didn't realize this, and maybe they could find a way to solve the problems that
Right.
they have. You know what I'm saying?
But we're definitely gonna bring you back, and
My brother, it's been a pleasure,
Yes,
man. Been a pleasure, sir. Was nice, and like you say, you know, if you wanna, I could bring
yes.
bass player. We could do a little jam session.
Yeah, we need that. They need that right there too. 'Cause that's the frequencies, and you know what I'm saying.
And maybe bring across some more positive music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You bless
know,
them. They gotta
that's
bless
why I
them.
made
Right.
sure I put that first track in there, because you have to be a spiritual person. You have to be centered inside, you know, not just picking up the different schisms from outside.
They telling us that we're down to our last minute. Yes.
All right,
So I
that's
guess
good.
we on our way out. But like I said,
All right, my brother.
Yes. Yes. And
Bless
your
you.
manager out here also, we did not forget, you know what I'm saying, who was here in person with you, made sure you got here.
Oh, the most beautiful,
That's right.
lovely, and you know she's in the medical field. She don't want to say.
She had music out there for me when I was out there talking out. So,
One of my biggest supporters, my biggest fan. You know.
all right.
Yeah.
They rushing us. Okay, drop it. You know what I'm
Alright.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 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 yes.
Ring of fire. Your fire's burning hot.
S-I-N-Y. Yeah, man. Yes, I. Yeah, I do.